It says it's streaming live on YouTube.
All right, it says Sunday, April 19th, roundup, meditation and Sunday celebration on the YouTube channel.
So we're cool.
And the Lotus is up and Margie's in the corner. Now Kristen's in the corner. I'm in the corner.
Probably need to mute everyone because whoever's sound is on is the one that's going to be in the corner.
Are you in speaker view? Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. This is our first Zoom-created live streaming YouTube Sunday meditation and celebration. So again, welcome. My name is Margie Salmons, and I am going to be leading you this morning in our Sunday meditation. I'm honored to do so. I am a practitioner here at the center. And so I just invite you, if you're comfortable, to get cozy wherever you are. And if you're comfortable, just close your eyes, because I'm inviting you to take this time to sit back, relax in your seat, and just become conscious of your breath. Breathe in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathe in this beautiful day and breathe out all the clouds of the past. Breathe out both the physical and the mental clouds. Breathing in and breathing out. Just bring yourself into your own personal rhythm. Embrace the light and release the old. Now allow your breath to set a rhythm for your body, for the synchronicity that breathing through the heart creates, your breath through your lungs, your blood through your veins, even your cells bear witness to this powerful rhythm that flows in union with your heartbeat. Your physical body aligns with the rhythm of your heart. Your spiritual body easily and effortlessly aligns itself to the rhythm of spirit, to the emergence of light and the release of the old. So in the silence, breathing in and breathing out, allow yourself to deepen into the rhythm of the breath, into the divinity of spirit that breathes you. In the silence between the words, the bowls bring you back to remind you to breathe in the spirit of divinity and to breathe out what does not serve you. So in this sacred space where time stands still, your future is still unwritten, and the energy of Source Eternal fills your soul. I invite you to use that energy, that power to change the world. Broadcast love and kindness and compassion and wellness out into the world. Give with all your heart. Know for the world that these days are bright beginnings of the new. Remember that you are a divine being, blessed, complete, and perfect in essence. Allow that essence of love to spring forth into the world, healing by revealing the Spirit of God everywhere. Give your light and your love to the world. Where there is hatred, sow love. Where there is doubt, sow faith. Where there is despair, sow hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, sow joy. In this sacred silence, use your consciousness in this time to make a difference in the world. It's through your connection to the world and to spirit that you make a difference. In these few moments of silence, share your light with the world. So I invite you to bring your consciousness back from this expanded state. Gently and easily, return your focus to your breathing and draw your energy back into your heart, becoming aware of your room, of your seat, of your physical body. Remember, you are a divine being, blessed, complete, and perfect. And remember that it is in giving of ourselves that we receive. Namaste.
Good morning. Welcome to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Kristen Wilcock, and I am a practitioner intern here at CCSL, and I will be giving you the announcements today. Due to the current pandemic, we will be offering our Sunday celebration via Zoom, and it is being live streamed to our YouTube channel. Rev Gregory Toole will be hosting our Columbus Center for Spiritual Living community meeting today from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. via Zoom. Everyone is welcome to join us. The slide has the Zoom link, or you can get this information in your e-newsletter that was sent out this past Wednesday, April 15th. The information is also available on our Facebook page. Have you been meaning to register for Rev Gregory's Conscious Loving class that started yesterday? The good news is you still can. If you are interested, email Robin to register at robin@spirituallivingcolumbus.org. The next class is Saturday, May 2nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. via Zoom. Our annual 2020 annual meeting that was scheduled to take place on March 22nd was postponed until further notice due to the current coronavirus situation. We will reschedule in May and will communicate the date to everyone once that is scheduled. Roots class will start Thursday, April 23rd. It will be an accelerated class meeting twice a week for 5 weeks on Zoom. The cost is $195. For more information, please contact Reverend Amy. If you desire or are in need of prayer after service or at any time, here are a few different ways you can contact a practitioner directly. You can go to our website, columbuscsl.org, and find a practitioner, or you can submit a prayer request on our website. We want to thank everyone for joining us for our Sunday celebration today. That is the news for today. Let's all sing our opening song.
All right now. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I love you and I love you too. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love and the unity. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Amy Papadoupoulos, and I am so glad you are all here with us today and that we get to be together on this Zoom and on our brand new YouTube channel. We are an inclusive organization. We respect and honor and welcome you wherever you are on your spiritual path. I want to thank all of the viewers today that are joining us on YouTube. We're up to 80 subscribers. If we get 20 more subscribers, we get to claim the name of Columbus CSL on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We will also be posting the recording of this Sunday celebration on our Facebook page, and you can also view it on YouTube after we're done. Would you please say our sacred covenant prayer with me? We have shortened it due to this to the service that we're doing now. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that, excuse me, that my new minister is a revelation of God as wholeness. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful, God is gracious, and so it is. I'd like to thank practitioner Margie Salmons for the beautiful meditation this morning, and for practitioner intern Ann Strayer. She is holding virtual Highwatch so that we can go deeper within our consciousness. So now I would like to reintroduce Kristen Wilcock, who will be assisting me today. Kristen?
Good morning. And with the ringing of the bowls, we now begin our sacred service. A reading from Natasha Bedingfield. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Now let the music take us within for a few moments.
Shiva.
God's divine intelligence and love brings all life into being. This boundless reservoir of power, goodness, and wisdom is always acting on behalf of its creation. This power is everywhere present and within every configuration of life. This compassionate Mother, Father, God is the all-knowing architect and conductor of all that is. No thing is outside of its loving care and attention. God is the author, expressing through its creation. Everywhere is beauty, love, light, power, joy, and the abundance of all good things. This vibrating energy of goodness is connected to me. I know that I am made of God's substance, here on purpose through the love of the divine. I am an instrument of the One. The divine moves and acts through me. I am inseparable from the one body, mind, and spirit. I am guided and sustained by this loving source. As this is true for me, I know that this overwhelming abundance and goodness connects each of us, for we are all one. I accept right here and now this access to the great reality. From this awareness, I am willing to surrender to the all-knowingness of God. In the midst of life's messiness and shifting clarity, I open to a greater experience of faith in God's infinite wisdom and intelligence. There is no mystery in the mind of God, so I trust and surrender. I drench myself in words unspoken. I rest in this space of not knowing and welcome whatever story is being written in the book of my life. I am comforted knowing that the story of my life will unfold perfectly. I soften and open to God's perfect timing, living my life with arms wide open. I celebrate and accept the spiritual truth for and about myself and all of life. My heart is full of gratitude for the knowing of this prayer. With this gracious heart, I release my words into the law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. Now rise up, rise like the day, all right. do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like a wave. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. And the silence isn't quiet, and you feel like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. We'll bring him to his feet and move mountains. I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. For that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, and I'll rise up high like a wave. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you, I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Good morning. Good morning, community. So good to see everyone. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you so much, Jesse Powers. Wow, what a moving song. And this is my second talk in a row online here where I follow Jesse. So Jesse's my cue now. When Jesse starts playing, I know I'm coming up. So good to be with you all this morning. And the last time I spoke to you from my home here, it wasn't quite my home. I had just moved to California, the move that was already in progress before all of this pandemic took place. And I decided to carry on with it and even moved it up sooner. So the last time I was sitting here in my setup, but everything else around me was still in apparent chaos. And now I'm actually in my home. So very good to speak to you from my home here. And wow, what a morning, what a morning. Can you just feel at all each other? Can you just contemplate that the community is together right now? Virtually, yes, but we say that there's no time or space in God. So in actuality, we're together right now. And I just, myself, I just feel us all connected. I feel us all together, even though we're not physically present to one another right now. So given that we just came out of Easter just last week, I want to begin with a little Easter story. And this is a story about a mother who was preparing pancakes for breakfast for her two young boys. And as she was preparing the pancakes, the boys started to argue. And they started to say, who's going to get the first pancake? And they started to argue back and forth about who would get the first pancake. And the mother very calmly said to them, now, boys, what would Jesus do in this situation? And the boys got quiet for a moment. And then they each said in unison, Jesus would give the first one to his brother. And the mother was very pleased at her boys at that moment. And then one of the boys stopped for a moment and he said, okay, you be Jesus, he said to his brother. That's my little story for the morning here. So good to be with all of you. And the topic today is unwritten, meaning this space, this open space, this void or this vacuum of what is unwritten, what is uncreated, what is unmanifest at this moment, perhaps this blank canvas, this blank slate waiting to be written on. It is said that Aristotle said that the universe abhors a vacuum. And I was reading a writer online on a website called Fact Myth, and he said that one might think that in what we know today that Aristotle was not correct because it's theoretically possible to have a vacuum, to have empty space. But what he also said is that in reality, we've never been able to create such a thing. And so he said in reality, there really is no place where things don't rush in when there's an empty space. That there's always something that wants to rush in. And so during this time, how great of a time to have this topic of unwritten when, we're in this space of something is going to be created. Something is going to be created anew out of this experience. And there is this vacuum and there is this space and there is this blank canvas. And the question that comes to my mind is, are we going to just allow that space to just be filled by whatever it gets filled by? In other words, are we going to allow it to just be an unconscious unfolding? Or are we going to see it coming forth as our conscious choosing, seeds that we are planting? So let me share with you a quote from Ernest Holmes around that. And Ernest Holmes said that every objective evidence to the contrary to good should be resolutely denied, and in its place should come a sense of right action. One should feel a unity of spirit in all people and running through all events. They should declare that the spirit within them is God, quickening into right action everything they touch, bringing the best out of all their experiences, and forever guiding and sustaining. The greatest good which their mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as part of their everyday experience. I overheard one time in a coffee shop, I was sitting in a coffee shop, and a man was talking to his teenage son. And he said, you know, son, in baseball, it's 3 strikes and you're out. But in life, it's not like that. In life, you get as many strikes as you need. He said, in life, there's always another possibility. In life, there's always a new opening. And I loved hearing him say that to his son. So, what do we choose to create during this time? What do we choose to create? And Ernest Holmes also said that as we unfold in our mentality, the law automatically reacts to us. The way to work is to begin right where we are, and through constantly applying ourselves to the truth, we gradually increase in wisdom and understanding, for in this way alone will good results be obtained. And I love right now that we have a group here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living that are studying with me a book called Conscious Loving, and we just started the class yesterday, because I really see it as our contribution to humanity's evolution. This is a growing edge of humanity's evolution, this stepping into a more conscious way of relating to each other, a more conscious way of being with each other. And so that's one of the ways that this group, I feel, is planting seeds for what wants to get created as we come out of this situation, and planting seeds, consciously choosing what it is we're going to create as we go forward, creating a world where we relate to each other in a different way. We relate to each other from our wholeness, and we relate to others from their wholeness. This is seeds that we are planting. One time in a house I was living in, a house that I had purchased in Northern California, there was a carport, and I never liked that carport from the day I moved in. And so several years after moving in, I decided to take that carport down, essentially, at least a part of it that I didn't like, I decided to take down. And I started to just dismantle it on my own. And as part of this project, there was a lot of gravel on the roof, and that gravel ended up in the driveway. Well, the rainy season came along, and I had to suspend the project for a while. And so I just kind of ignored that little pile of gravel, and it just sat there and sat there. And when the rainy season was over and I went to start my project again, and I just hadn't really paid much attention to this little pile of gravel, it was just a little pile of gravel. But when I went back to look at it again, all kinds of new life had sprouted up in what appeared to just be an inert, dead pile of gravity. All of this new plant life suddenly was birthed and thriving and living in what seemed to be just a pile of gravel. It reminds me of Aristotle's quote that the universe abhors a vacuum. What to me, looked like just a little pile of gravel, the universe said, I got to fill something in there. I got to create something there. What are we creating right now as we sit in the space of seemingly where life has kind of slowed down or stopped in some cases? What are we creating? What is it that we're always creating something, just like that pile of gravel that I ignored. I didn't plant anything there. I didn't decide that, oh, this is a pile of gravel. I think I'll plant some roses in there. It just filled in itself. So during this time, what are we filling in? What are we consciously choosing? What seeds are we consciously choosing to plant during this time? Ernest Holmes said in his book, Love and Law, you are not dealing with conditions. You are dealing with thought. Nothing else. Thought and spirit. I love that. We're not dealing with conditions. Sometimes we think we're dealing with conditions. We think we're dealing with a pandemic. We think we're dealing with shelter in place. We think we're dealing with the condition of isolation and being away from our friends, but we are not dealing with conditions. We are dealing with thought and spirit. And thought and spirit together are creating something anew. So what is the thought that we are putting into this law with spirit that is creating something new? What is this new thing we are creating? Because the universe abhors a vacuum and we are always creating something. So what are we creating in this moment? Ernest Holmes also said in the Science Mind textbook, the possibility of demonstrating does not depend upon environment, condition, location, personality, or opportunity. It depends upon our belief and our acceptance and our willingness to comply with the law through which all good comes. I love that part where he says we're not even dealing with opportunity, that it doesn't depend on opportunity, because it would appear in this moment like maybe there's not a lot of opportunity. What we are dealing with is this possibility of demonstrating and a law that is willing to comply with that which we impress upon it. So what are we impressing? What are you impressing upon this law at this time? What is it that the seeds that you are planting at this time? One of the things that we can do during this time is we can really continue to open ourselves to spirit, to open ourselves to that divine influx and that divine outflow and that divine, coming in and that divine going out. We can continue to work on ourselves as a vehicle and a vessel. A lot of emotions might be running through us at this time. A lot of emotions might be coming up for us. We're face to face with ourselves. And so what do we do with those emotions? Well, one of the things I shared in the Conscious Loving class yesterday was that we really need to feel all of those feelings. Sometimes we don't want to feel our feelings, especially the uncomfortable ones, or sometimes we might think that that is inconsistent with the Science of Mind teaching. If I feel all my feelings, that I'm not being a good religious science practitioner. I'm not practicing this teaching of Science of Mind. But if God is all there is, then aren't feelings and emotions God too? I would say yes. And feelings and emotions, as I described in the class yesterday, are these beautiful feedback mechanisms for us. They are so divine. There are these beautiful feedback mechanisms for us that give us information. That's all it really is information. And if we allow those emotions to arise, to feel them, to observe them, to be informed by them, then they just pass. And then a new emotion arises and we feel that and we be present to it and we be informed by it. So there are these beautiful, our feelings and our emotions are these beautiful divine messengers on the spiritual journey. There are these little indicators for us. The mind says, I'm fine. The mind says, I'm totally fine. I'm okay. But then this emotion rushes forward that says, oh, I'm feeling great grief right now. Or I'm feeling great sadness right now. I'm feeling great loneliness right now. Or it might be that I'm feeling great joy right now. Great indicators for us on the path, because we get to feel it, be present to it, and really ask, oh, what is the information contained in this energy that is moving through me right now as an emotion, maybe called sadness, maybe called grief, maybe called joy? What is the information contained in there? It's pointing us to something, maybe something unresolved, something we need to look at, something we need to give attention to. So the simple process I use with emotions is, number one, to acknowledge them and claim them. It's like, I feel sad right now. Acknowledge it, claim it, and then feel it, fully feel it, because any feeling fully felt essentially passes. It's just energy moving, right? So we feel it, we acknowledge it, we fully feel it, we be present to it rather than try to push it down or push it away, we be present to it. And then we ask, what is the information I am receiving from this energy that's moving through me in the form of this feeling? And then we release it and we let it pass and we be. It's a beautiful thing during this time. And so it comes back to what I was saying a moment ago about being a conduit for spirit, about being a vehicle and a vessel through which beautiful, amazing, divine ideas come through. And then we allow those beautiful, amazing, divine ideas to be manifest in our life. Well, in order to do that, we have to be this open vessel. And if there's any part of us that is resisting life, resisting, for example, our emotions, then we're in resistance. And whenever we're in resistance, we're creating a blockage to the divine flow. So we want to open ourselves and not be afraid of our emotions. Our emotions are our friends. They're so honest, emotions. Emotions are just so honest. If we feel sadness, we can't say, no, I don't feel sadness. We just do. We just do feel sadness in that moment. And the beauty is it's not here to stay. So we could say, oh, this isn't science of mind. I'm supposed to just feel good all the time. No, you're not. You are this beautiful conduit for all of life, to experience all of life, which sometimes includes the emotion of sadness. Sometimes it even includes the emotion of anger. Oh, no. Yeah, anger is just a natural emotion. And where we have problems with anger is not with that emotion, because that emotion, that feeling is just energy and information moving through us and giving us feedback on something for us to pay attention to. Where we go wrong with it is we try to suppress it, and we don't want it to happen, and we resist it, and it won't go away. So it then expresses in really unhealthy ways, like yelling or blaming or finger pointing. But if we would just allow ourselves to feel, to acknowledge the anger, to feel the anger, to be present to it, and to ask, what is the information it is providing to me? It would just pass, and it would be no big thing, like all of our emotions, just energy passing through us, just information being made available to us. So as we allow ourselves to be with all of this, then we are not in resistance to life. We're not a house divided against itself. And so we're an open conduit, we're an open vehicle, we're an open vessel for spirit to move. And spirit always wants to move. Spirit is always creating. And so we become that open vehicle, that open vessel for beautiful divine ideas to be realized, to be made manifest, to be impressed upon that law. We create all kinds of beautiful music, like our amazing musicians here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. We create great works of art, great works of writing. Yes. And so, yes. Just breathe on that for a moment. Just take that in, being that totally open vessel for spirit during this time, for spirit to birth all kinds of new ideas. Sometimes we think in life, nothing is happening. You know, we want something to be made manifest and we think nothing is happening. Or right now, in particular, during this time where we're staying at home and we're sheltering in place and we can't take all the action maybe that we want to take on that project or that new initiative, there can be the thought that nothing is happening. But I refer you back to that seemingly inert pile of gravel on my driveway. And I ask you, is it really true that nothing is happening? Or is a lot happening outside of our view? Is a lot happening on the invisible plane of life? And we are just to know that life, that spirit is always moving. Spirit is always creating. And we, as the conduits for spirit, are always creating. The only question is, are we creating consciously, aligning with that energy of spirit moving through us? Are we allowing those lower, as I'll call them, thoughts to dominate? and those lower thoughts to be that which our attention is on, and therefore that which is creating for us. I know during this time it can be really difficult to stay positive because we might be feeling a sense of isolation, a sense of really wanting our life back. But the emotions won't harm us. We can feel all of those emotions. Some of the greatest works of art, some of the greatest genius we have ever witnessed has come about through various emotions, through sadness, through anger, through joy. All of those emotions are simply information. All of them can be the most uplifting thing we could ever experience if we just be present to them and allow the information that they want to provide to inform us, to give us greater wisdom, greater knowledge, greater self-awareness. So the emotions that we might be feeling during this time are not a problem at all. We just get to feel them, be present to them, be informed by them, and then let them pass. Beautiful practice of science of mind. Don't think that just because you have emotion and just because you're feeling things and just because you've labeled those emotions as negative, don't think for a moment that you are not practicing science of mind. If you allow yourself to feel them, let go of the judgment as to whether they're good or bad, and just take advantage of the information that's flowing from them, and then get back on your track. Get back on your track of, I am a conscious being. What am I choosing to do with this emotion? What am I choosing to do with the information that these emotions are providing to me right now? Then we know that even now, in the midst of a pandemic and a global pandemic and a stay-at-home, I am creating beautiful things in my life. Perhaps that's an affirmation for us. I am creating beautiful things in my life, even now. So I want to just close here because I could just keep going on this subject. It's so exciting to me, but I want to respect our time here. So I want to just close by saying this topic of unwritten, that we're writing a story right now. And what is the story we are writing? What is the story we are consciously choosing to write for ourselves, for the center, and for our world during this time of shelter in place, during this time of whatever it is for you? Let us write consciously and let us create beautiful things during this time. The opportunity is there. The possibilities are limitless. Thank you so much. Namaste. Blessings. And let us take that into prayer. Let us turn within together as we connect together, as we feel each other's presence, as we feel and know that there is no separation, that we are still one with each other and with all of life. Even if we can't reach out in this moment and touch each other, that we are one and connected and whole with each other. So in this consciousness of oneness, I speak this word, and I know right now that whatever would seem to block us in this moment, whatever false ideas that the pandemic is a problem, or that the shelter in place is a problem, or that somehow we are limited in any way in this moment, that idea is false, and I name it as so, and therefore it is right now dissolving and yielding and giving way, for it has no truth to hold it up or to hold it in place. And so in its place, in this vacuum, in this void, in this open slate, I speak my word and declare and know that we are powerful, conscious beings that even now creating beautiful new things in our lives, in our center, and in our world. And I declare and know that there is nothing whatsoever that impedes that or inhibits that whatsoever. Prosperity, even now when we may not be able to go to work, even now we are creating great prosperity for ourselves, for that law knows nothing other than to say yes, yes, yes. And so the answer is yes. And so we stay in that consciousness of our infinite divine source that is God, that is good, that is always giving of itself and never withholding. And so we reach deeply into that. We lean deeply into that awareness that God is my infinite source. And we give our full attention to that. And we let go of every idea of lack or limitation, or that anything could limit us in any way. And we just know that even now, when there appears to be nothing happening, all kinds of life is sprouting up in the gravel that we've left in the driveway. All kinds of great things are sprouting up in the places in our mind, in the places in our consciousness where we thought nothing is happening, in places in our life where we thought nothing is happening. Something is happening. And it is our conscious use of the law that is right now determining it. And I know that our conscious use of the law is setting in motion all kinds of beautiful, great things. And so I touch and agree with each person on this. And I give great thanks for this awareness, for this truth, and for all the good that is coming forth right now. In great gratitude, I let this be. And we join together right in our own space, right where we are, touching and agreeing with each other, connected to each other. We speak forth the words in acceptance. And so it is. Blessings.
That was awesome, Reverend Gregory. Thank you. So relevant. We've got to celebrate all of our feelings because they are an indication, right? Information. Well, I wrote this song before the quarantine, but it was when I was in a particular mood. And when I let go of my resistance to my emotions, I realized that all I wanted to do was just stay in my house. And then I got my wish because we were on lockdown. So here we go. I don't want to get out. Wait, sorry, hold on. Okay, here we go. I don't want to get up. Just not feeling it today. I don't want to get up. Nah. Who needs a job anyway? I don't want to go out. Being human's too hard. Sometimes I think my brain takes this responsibility a little too far. And I just want to stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks. I'm overdue for some fun, dance party of one. I got that self-care game on lock. Yeah, I just want to stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is that I please. I spend the hours in bliss, just me, myself, and Liz, getting busy, loving up on me. Gonna turn off my phone. Too many people messing with my head. They can't find me at home, cause there's no landlines. And if they come knocking, baby, I play dead. I just wanna stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks. I'm overdue for some fun, dance party of one. I got that self-care game on lock. Yeah, I just wanna stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is that I please. I spend the hours in bliss, just me, myself, and Liz, getting busy, loving up on me. You can do anything, however you're feeling. If you just want to stay in your house all day, now's your chance. Put your alpaca socks on and just turn off your phone. Ooh, I gotta tell you, you're killing my groove. Ooh, I gotta tell you, tell it to the people. You're killing my groove. I just wanna stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks. I'm overdue for some fun, dance party of one. I got that self-care game unlocked. Dance party of one. Yeah, I just wanna stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is up on me. Getting busy loving up on me. Getting busy loving up on me. Getting busy loving up on me. Yeah. Write your story however you want to write it. Put your socks on.
Oh, Jessie, that was fantastic. Jessie Powers, you are amazing, and you made me feel happy. Oh, thank you so much for that. Oh, and thank you, Reverend Gregory. Oh, I feel good right now. So right now, it is also the time for the giving of our gifts. During this unique time, whether you connect with us on your phone, your tablet, your TV, your computer, we are honored to be able to continue to support you and to minister to you spiritually. Though we might not be passing an offering basket in person each week, please remember that we appreciate your donations to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. And you have been very generous. So please keep that generosity coming. It's how we can continue to make this happen and get our message of a world that works for everyone out into the world. So please give. There are several different ways you can continue to give your support to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. So there we go, as the slide comes up. The different ways to donate to CCSL, you can text to give. You can also go to our website. There's a PayPal button there. That's www.columbuscsl.org. You can mail your donations in snail mail, or you can set up a bill pay with your bank and have the payment mailed to us from your bank. And if you need any help with that, you can contact me or you can contact Robin. So thank you. So please imagine the gift in your hand, either writing out a check or pushing the button on the PayPal, and put your hands over your heart if you would like to, and say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
And as we're feeling this gratitude and circulation, we'll listen to this song.
Holy Spirit, oh, what a song
Thank you, Carissa. And if you could now join me in this prayer for abundance and prosperity. Right here and right now, we recognize the infinite source of all that is. The gifts of your love amplify the infinite good that expresses through each one of you. And for that, we are so grateful. I bless these gifts. I bless the givers, knowing that these gifts go forth and multiply. I say thank you. And together we sing.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Oh, thank you. So I'd like to thank Reverend Gregory Toole, our interim minister, for his message today. I'd like to thank Carissa Holmes and Jesse Powers, along with Tony Bonardi on piano, Steve Parakis on bass, and Joe Nelson on drums. They have collaborated their musical talents to provide the music for today. So thank you. And thank you all for being here on our YouTube, our brand new YouTube channel. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our goal is 100. And thank you for being with us today on our Sunday celebration. If you are joining us for the very first time, we would love to send you a welcome packet in the mail. There is information on our Facebook page. There's information on our website, and you can also put your name in the chat box underneath on your YouTube channel. We'll make sure that the welcome packet gets to you. So that concludes our service today. Please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is good. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
And so it is. Let us